Hey dear fashion bosses, how are you doing today? Welcome to today's class. In today's class, we are going to be learning how to make this beautiful structured trending sleeve. It is called a gong sleeve. It is spelled Gong. This structured standing sleeve is a very simple tutorial. So if this is what you like to learn, kindly stay to the end of this video. It's extremely beautiful and extremely simple. All right, my name remains Faith Abraham, Creative Director of Fashion Boss Innovation. Let us go to the cutting table. All right, so I have here with me my fabric, and then I have this peplum stay. Okay, it's called a peplum stay. It's one of the hardest stay in the market, or you can also use a collar stay for it. So I have my fabric folded into two, as you can see. Okay, so we're just going to cut one part of the sleeve, and then we use this to cut the other part. Okay, this is going to serve as our pattern. Okay, so I grab my ruler and then I draw a line, at the beginning of the sleeve. Okay, I have to arrange it properly because it's shifted. So I just draw this line. This is where our measurement is going to start from. Okay, this line is to ensure that your measurements is accurate, because some people will just start from the tip of the fabric, but I just like drawing the line. Okay, and then after drawing the line, I just measure the length of my sleeve. So you can determine how long you want the sleeve to be, but I will tell you from experience, it should not be more than your elbow area, otherwise it will be very, very discomforting. So I just measure about 11 inches. Okay, and then I extend it to the other side. I added a 1 inch seam allowance to it to make it 12 inches. So 0.5 inch to stitch it at the back at the dam, to stitch my lining at the dam to it, and then 0.5 inch on the upper part to stitch it to the garment. Okay, all right, like I said, please, you should not go below, you should not go beyond your elbow. It can be very discomforting because of the interface. And so I just measure the circumference of the width of the sleeve. Okay, so I have right here on my fabric, I'm measuring 12 inches. Okay, 12 inches, 12 inches. And then I'm going to also go ahead to add 1 inch seam allowance to it, making it 13 inches. So I just roll up my lines. Okay, so using the 12 inches is going to cover your armhole area, and then you even have SS. So I'm going to come down my sleeve cap by 4 inches. You can use between 3, 4, and 5 inches. And then I just going to connect to the 4 inches I just measured, which is serving as my sleeve cap. Okay, it's a very simple tutorial, just a basic sleeve, basically, just a basic sleeve. The difference is that you're not shaping it, as in shaping, giving your arm, your hand, or your arm the circumference. You're not using the circumference of your arm. Instead of measuring 13 inches, you're just using everything. That's just the difference. Okay, it's not fitted, it's not a fitted sleeve. That's just the difference. So I just go ahead to cut. Basically, we are done with the drafting. So I just go ahead to cut, as you can see me illustrates right now. Okay, so it's just the length and then the width. Okay, the width is 13 inches plus one seam in 1 inch seam allowance inclusive, and then the length is 11 inches. I just open it up this way, and then I'm just going to introduce my user interface, the peplon stay. But before I do that, I'm going to use this fabric right now to cut the second sleeve and then the lining. Okay, don't forget to do that. And then I'm just going to use it to cut my stay, this peplon stay. Like I said earlier, you can use your collar stay, but I'm using the peplon stay to give me the very standing effect that is required, for the sleeve. So I'm done cutting my stay. As you can see right now, I left 0.5 inch all around the main fabric. This is to enable your needle penetrate with ease. Okay, and then I have infused it to my fabric. So I'm just going to use my lining to turn it right now. Like I said, it is very, very simple. Okay, I'm just going to use my lining. I'll sew the side, I'll sew the down, and then the other side. Okay, But before I sew the side, I'm going to flip it open this way, and then I'm going to top stitch on the lining parts. Okay, that's just it basically, and then I bring it back and then sew on the side as you can see me illustrate. So I'm done sewing. I've also gone ahead to iron. You can see it's all standing. Wow. Okay, basically that's all we require. So I'm going to fold it back this way, and then I'm going to notch. You just eyeball it and notch this area. Okay, so this is the area because we're going to pull some gathers, on the upper part of the sleeve, the shoulder part. So that part where we just notched is where you are going to start your gathering or your gathers from one part of the notch to the other part of the notch. Okay, so I'm just going to run a straight or a loose stitch using my hand stitching needle. You can also do this on your sewing machine. Sew a loose stitch and then you pull. But I'm just going to use my stitching needle to create the loose stitch, and then I pull when it is time. Okay. So I'm done. I'm sewing the loose stitches. I'm just going to fold it this way, and then remember we left 1 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to hold it using that 1 inch, and that is it. And then I'm going to turn it inside out as you can see me illustrate right now. It's a little hard turning because of the hardness of the peplon stay, but of course it is very, very doable. So after turning, you go ahead and iron, and then you come back to the loose stitch your needle, and then you pull. That is it basically, guys. You pull. When pulling, you are taking the measurement of your armhole circumference on your dress into consideration. Okay, you're taking into consideration, making sure that it falls within the range of your armhole circumference. Okay, so basically this is what we have. You see our sleeve, it's all standing. Okay, it's all standing, looking very lovely and beautiful. And then you grab your dress and then you fix it. So if you find value in this tutorial video, do not forget to subscribe, guys. Oh, we'll see you guys in our next class. Stay tuned and God bless you. Bye bye for now.